Hello and welcome to the second Valentine's Day card hand painted tutorial. Today we're going to be painting this really cute teddy bear that says "Be Mine" up there in the top left. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more fun videos and painting tutorials. Here's a list of supplies you'll need. You can pause the video at any time during this lesson and catch up or go as slow as you need to, don't worry about it. So here is the sketch. You can find this on my website paintingsbydakota.com and you can trace it or do whatever you'd like. Enjoy! So a fun thing happened when I was recording this, not so fun actually. My mic was not turned on. So for the first, I think like 10 minutes of this video, there won't be any sound. I'm gonna do a voiceover as best as I can. I'm gonna try to remember what I said. Don't look at my face because the words won't match. And yeah, that's where we're at. So what I did first is paint the entire thing white. I think I do that in just a second. Look at that. Yep, here we go. So take a flat brush and grab some white paint and get it put all over your card. You really want to focus on it not being too thick because the paint will cover up the pencil marks. So you want to be able to see your pencil marks still. So mix your white paint with some water and just get it laid out over the top of your drawing. And the purpose of this is to seal the pencil in so that you don't smudge it as you're working. And then also it gives us a nice layer of paint to work on instead of painting directly on the card. Okay, so go ahead and let that dry. And then as soon as it's dry, we are going to start painting the bear. And what I did is I just washed off my brush in some water and dried it on the towel, and then I'm gonna grab some dark brown here in a second. I'm still doing voiceover because my mic is not working still in the video. Okay, so a little bit of brown and some black. We're gonna make a dark brown color, mix that in together. Don't use too much black, just a little bit, enough to darken it up. And we're going to paint the entire bear except for the nose part, the circle nose part, the little circles on the feet, and except for the heart. So go ahead and do that and follow along. You can just do what I'm doing. Okay, so we are going to grab some red and we're going to paint this heart. And I'm just using my flat brush still, the one we did the bear with. And just fill in the whole heart with this bright red color. You can use a darker red if you have it. You don't want it to be too light, just kind of a medium dark red. Okay, so next we're going to do this circle on his face and his two circles on his feet. So just grab some brown and mix in a little bit of white to get a lighter brown color, and go ahead and fill all three of those circles in completely with this light brown color. Here we are. Hopefully you're caught up and you're about here with me. I went back over it with a layer of paint because I wanted to get rid of some of the brush strokes. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse that brush off and put it back. And I'm going to grab one of my smaller round brushes like this. And we're going to just fill in the eyes with some black. Okay, so it should look something like that. Don't worry about it being perfect. We can always go back and make adjustments later on once the paint is a little bit more dry. And I also get some paint over here, so we can cover that up as well. Don't worry about the small stuff. All right, so we're gonna just put its little nose back in. So I'm gonna grab black again on this brush, and we're just gonna do right up here at the top of the circle, kind of an oval shape, a sideways oval shape. Got too much paint in my brush, hold on. So, sideways oval. Just like that. And now his little mouth. So we're gonna start in the middle of the oval here, and we're gonna think of a backwards J and then a regular J, just side by side like that. So try to only touch the very tip of your brush to the canvas, because if you push down too hard, it'll make the line way too thick. So there's our backwards J, and then a regular J. And they're just gonna meet right up. So this should be about where you're at right now. We are gonna add a little bit of a highlight right here inside of his ears, using that light brown color again. So this is just brown and a little bit of white. And what you're gonna imagine is, instead of doing a circle, we're gonna have a flat side where his head curves like that. So a little short line like this. It's kind of like a D, a uppercase D. Like that. See that? And then just fill it in. Just like that. We're gonna do the other side as well. Backwards uppercase D. Like that. Fill it in. Go. So now I'm going to use a little bit bigger of a flat brush. I think this is about a ½ an inch wide, and we're going to add a little shadow underneath the bear. And this is kind of a fun trick. We're going to take some black and add purple. So it's going to be kind of a dark purple color, and you're going to add a lot of water to that. So it's going to be really, really thin. I want it to be kind of almost like a watercolor consistency. And then you're just going to start underneath the legs here. And we're going to add just a little bit of a shadow to give it some dimension. Just like that. And that should be good for the purpose of this little simple bear that we're doing. That looks so cute. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the smaller flat brush. So this one is about 1/3 of an inch thick, flat. And we're gonna start doing some fur around the bear. So for this, we're going to grab some yellow and mix it in with the brown, light brown color that we've been using. Maybe a little bit of red too, just to give it some more dimension. So we're just going to lightly, you use the edge of the bristles to make the texture for you, so you don't have to do a whole bunch of extra work. Just like that. And now we can head on to the next step, which is going to be the heart. We're going to let the fur dry. We're going to come back to it and add some more layers to it in a minute. But we're going to tackle this heart right now. And all we're going to do is add a little bit of a highlight to the heart and a little bit of a shadow, and that's it. So it will be pretty easy. So for the highlight, we're going to grab a little bit of white, mix it in with some red to make kind of a nice light pink color. And we're going to add it to the top of the heart like this, and a little bit right over here, just like that. And what I do is I wash my brush off, okay, and you dry it on your towel, and then you kind of drag it over the bottom part of the highlight like this, and it helps blend it down into the red color. So see how it's called feathering, but you feather the color down into the dark red color. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing along the bottom. I'm going to grab a little bit of black and a tiny bit of red, make a dark red color, and we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to follow the bottom of the heart and bottom of it over here, a little bit right there by his hand, and a little bit right there by that hand. And then the same thing, just wash your brush off, and then while it's still wet, you're going to want to feather out those colors. And it just helps not have such a harsh line. It's a little bit tough to do with acrylic, so give yourself some patience. So next we are going to add in a little bit of shadows to the fur. So we're going to take the brown color that we have and mix it in with some black and red. Not too much, but you just want to get a little bit of a darker color than what you have on the canvas. So the light is coming from on top of the bear since it's casting a shadow like this. So you want to imagine where the shadows would be. So he would definitely have a shadow under his chin. So we're just going to add in a little bit of darker hair, darker fur under his chin like this. And then a little bit right under the hands. A little bit on this side. Okay, and then a little bit right under the heart, because the heart would be casting a shadow over this part of its leg. Just like that. And I think we will do a little bit up here on the side of his ears. Just like this. And then also a little bit right under this little snout. Just like that. And now we're going to add in some highlights to the fur, and we're almost done with the fur. That's about it. So again, we're going to start with this brown red color that we made, add in a little bit of white. So it's going to look almost like a brownish pink, kind of a light brown pink color. And I'm going to add in just a little bit of yellow. Okay, and we're going to start up here on the top of its head. And for this part, you're going to want to leave quite a bit of space in between each brush stroke. So you don't want to cover up the whole top of his head with that color. You want to just kind of do some highlights here and there. So on the top of his ears, like that. And we're going to do the tops of his arms. Like that. Like that. Maybe a little bit more right up here. And a little bit on top of the feet. Just like that. I think that is so cute. So next, I'm going to grab a smaller brush, small round brush, like that, And we are gonna add in some highlights to the smaller circle areas that we did. So that same color you were just using for the highlights and the fur, add just a tiny bit of white to it, and we're gonna go along the edges of the round part here and just add in some small little highlights. So next we're going to use that same brush, little round brush. You're going to get just pure white on it, and we're going to do some highlights on his eyes and the tip of his nose. So these are really cool because they really bring a painting to life. It's one of the last things I ever do in a piece. So you will see right now it kind of looks lifeless, and then as soon as you add in just a little dot of white, it kind of brings the bear to life. It's cool. And then we're going to add in a little highlight just on the tip of its nose like that. Cool. Looks so good. If you would like to write "Be Mine" in the heart, go ahead and continue watching for the next few minutes and I'll help you. So I'm going to use that same brush, the skinny liner brush, and I'm going to use just plain white. You want to imagine the middle of the heart, okay? And since B is 2 letters, you're going to want the B on this side and the E on that side. So we're going to start here, do one line. I'm going to make mine kind of cute, so it's going to look like this with a little swirl. Be mine. Alright, so now we're going to start down here and do the M. I think that's really cute. I'm gonna touch up a few little pieces where I don't like how the lines are. But other than that, I think it's good. Okay, and again, don't forget to sign your artwork because this is your beautiful masterpiece. So find a spot along the bottom where you're comfortable and sign your name. There you go. And that's it. Enjoy. And we will be working on the next one in the next video. I'll see you there.